Hello again, Broncos Country. It's game day against the Cheeseheads. Cheeseheads are coming to Denver, and we are here to talk about it. Here in about an hour is kickoff, and we're here to talk to you on the Bourbon Broncos No B.S. Tailgate Talk. So, make sure you hit that share button. Let your friends and family know that we can be funny sometimes and have a lot of good takes on the Denver Broncos. But also make sure you post your comments. Let us know what you're thinking about this game and your expectations. As always, not as always, but most of the time I'm here with my good pal, David. David, how are you doing and how are you feeling today? You've had a roller coaster of emotions these past 4 or 5 days where you've had high highs, like, we got this. And then there's some times you're like, man, how are you feeling today, like right now?
It's still pretty confident, Jared. I put today was the first day I sprinkled a little action on this game, and if you live in a state where you can game responsibly, we encourage you to game responsibly. And yeah, I don't know. This Packers game, there's a lot of hype. The Packers are undoubtedly a good team. Like, I'm not trying to say that they're frauds and the Broncos are going to expose them today. I just think the Broncos are also a good team, and they're going to show it today. And I feel really confident about that.
Yeah, I'm less confident than you. And one of the reasons I wanted you to come on do tailgate with me is because I'm coming into this game. I'm watching what New England did, and that game's coming down to some great plays right now. If you're watching that game, this is an amazing game. But what New England did to Buffalo at the first half, the Raiders were getting absolutely stomped the way that they're supposed to. Like, there's a lot of games that are going like exactly the way they're supposed to. And like, again, we haven't really had that. So for some reason, I'm feeling like this game, I mean, I know it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be Bo Nix or Jordan Love who gets the ball last, and one of these teams has to win the game. And I'm nervous. I think this is probably one of the biggest pregame nerves I've had in a while.
Oh, buddy. All I can say is I think whatever the final score is, we're going to have a close game. I think we're going to have a back and forth struggle throughout the entirety of the afternoon. I think the Broncos fans are in for some really good football. Some heartbreak, probably. There'll be times when you're like, oh, how did this happen? Whatever. Just enjoy it, guys. You're 11-2. You're playing one of the best teams in the league. It's appointment must-see viewing. The Broncos are appointment must-see viewing, and that's a cool thing to have on December 14th, right, Jared?
It is. It's even better that it's in Denver because, I feel like if it was in the frozen tundra, it would be nice and chilly. But it looks like you guys got some decent weather, 65 overall, a little bit of overcast, but it seems like it's a beautiful day.
Absurdly nice December day. Not a lot of wind, really, really nice out. So the weather shouldn't be a factor in any way. And hopefully that means that this home crowd is going to be active, Jared. We saw the kind of juice that they were able to bring against the Kansas City Chiefs. They really made a difference in that game, and we need them to do more of the same today. We need them to be loud, proud, and in charge.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a big part of it. Like I hate when CBS always puts up literally anything. It started with the quarterback carousel, right? And since then I just cannot stand CBS and what they put up on the screen. But they keep talking about how we're on this ridiculous win streak at home, and I think it's 11 in a row or something like that. But yeah, hey, what's going on, Sean?
Good to see you, Sean. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, almost game time. How did you skip over the most important comment here? I don't know if you saw it.
No. I know which comment you're talking about.
This is
Go Team Puffball.
No.
Aries go.
No,
Yeah, no. He's
one.
Right. No. He's right.
Yeah. No.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyways.
Now, but we've got a point here from Jeremy. Bo's mom said that we are going to win, and so we have to trust Bo's mom. That's right. Yeah, Bo's mom did say this week that she thinks the Broncos are going to win, and that's all that matters to Bo Nix, he said. So yeah, excited. Biggest game. See, this is why I hate using the phrase "biggest game" for the Broncos since Super Bowl whatever. Because well, then the next one is also the Super. Like, we can just anyway. It's a huge game, and one of the biggest games of the Broncos' last few seasons, certainly, right up there with the Chiefs game, Jared. And if the Broncos win this game, What are your expectations going forward for this team? What are your thoughts going forward for this team? And is there a ceiling for this team? Does it change your perception of what you think the team is now if the Broncos do win?
No.
Okay.
No, because I think I already have a pretty high expectation of what this team is. It's weird. This game, everyone's talking about like, oh, it's the biggest game since. It's not. Like, if we lose this game, I'm not losing any more sleep than I would if we lost against, like, I don't know, one of the earlier teams. Really. But I do have high hopes for this team, and I think this team is very well coached. I think it's very well, like, they're coming together. And yeah, I think the ceiling is much higher than we actually think it is. I think there's more to this team where we can start being more consistent. And, next year, the year after, maybe we're looking like that team that handles games the way we should and punts maybe only once or twice and, stops the other team from scoring and all the other things. Right now, we just have a team that's playing for each other and playing towards that, that hard-nosed football to finish games, which is great. I want to see it against the team like the Packers, who have a different style of offense and a different style of defense than I think we've seen all so far this year.
I'd go as far as to say that for me, and I'm with you in that I already have a really high opinion of the Denver Broncos and what their ceiling is this year. To me, if they win this game today, the Denver Broncos are one of the top Super Bowl contenders if they win this game today. That's the end of the conversation for me. It's a weird thing to say. It's a weird AFC this year, but that's it. If the Denver Broncos go out there and beat the Green Bay Packers today, I think they've proven they belong in that conversation.
Yeah, and the other piece to hear too is we're watching these games, right? A lot of this is like, what are we playing for?
Yep.
Right? We win this game, we clinch a playoff spot. That's easy, right? And by easy, I mean like we have 4 games to do that. I think we're gonna be in the playoffs. And with the way the Chargers, Kansas City games go right now, that could go any way. Right? If Kansas City could beat the Chargers, it helps us even more out with securing a win or securing a playoff berth. But we want that home field advantage. We love that first round bye. And we're looking at the New England Buffalo game, which has been going back and forth right now. I mean, if you guys are watching this, Buffalo came back, scored. New England followed up with another score. It's been wild. So that's another game to keep an eye on. But say New England loses this game. If New England loses this game, now the Broncos have a chance to take the lead by a game and a half in the AFC. I mean, that's big money, man. That's like the ability to possibly rest our starters at the end of the year if we can finish out the long haul. I just and I mean, I would love home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Like it'd be great.
And now you guys, Broncos Country may not think it's time to talk about these things, but even if it's not time to talk about that kind of stuff just yet, even now, it is time to talk about winning. At this time of the season, just winning games is its own reward. Like just winning games at this point in your schedule, where you are already with 11 wins under your belt, only good things can happen if you keep winning games at this point. And so it's still a little bit surreal. Honestly, Jared, to look back where we were at the start of the season, at the end of last season, at the start of last season, and to be thinking now, man, the Broncos are, I don't know, 2-3 wins away from maybe locking up the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah. There's 2 things here. Karen, yeah. I'm with you. It is so hard to I was literally watching the game, and I think Patrick Mahomes was getting chased down, and he ended up getting sacked, and they ended up punting it. And as he's getting chased down, I'm like, get him. And I was like, wait, no, don't get him. No, don't get him. my wife's turning to me and like, make up your mind. Like, I don't know. I'm so torn. I don't know how to feel right now. Yeah, but I think another pause for me going into this game too is where we felt last year, and I think there's a little bit of that coming back, where all we needed to do was win 1 game to be in the playoffs, and we took our time, right? I think it was Cincinnati. The game came down to the last minute. There was like 3 games there that we had to win. The only reason we got it was because we played. I feel like we could have beat them regardless, but we played Kansas City, who rested all their starters, and we get into the playoffs. This is the same thing. We got 4 games left, and it's like we just got to win 1, and we're clinching a playoff berth. Like, I'd like to get past that hump and just like, okay, we're in the playoffs now. We're playing for that home field, and it is what it is. So
yeah, and so let's focus in a little bit more on this game, Jared. And for all of those who didn't listen to the pregame podcast. First of all, tisk tisk, shame on you, tisk tisk. But it's okay. We forgive you. You're here now, and that's the important thing. Jared and I both picked the Broncos to win this game in a close one. But I think, Jared, I continue to think that even though the Packers are one of the best teams in the NFL against man coverage, I just don't think they faced a secondary like ours. I think they haven't faced a team that can match up the way we do. And this is not a world-beating invincible team. The Packers are a good team, but they've played a lot of quote-unquote bad teams or quote-unquote mediocre teams close this season, just the way the Broncos have. So I don't, I keep fading away from the perspective more and more that the Broncos are in some kind of trouble today, and more toward the idea that the Broncos match up really, really well against what the Green Bay Packers like to do and against their skill position players, even though that's a really deep group.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers also have, on average, some of the longer offensive plays in the league. So, and that's because of the ability to extend plays as they're going through. The ability to extend plays for the Denver Broncos or for the Green Bay Packers allows them to beat man coverage, because if you have to cover for 5 seconds, it's easy because you know what you need to do. If you have to cover for 10 seconds, those double moves are there. It all gets kind of thrown out the window. So that's kind of what I'm worried about going into this is the idea that they're going to be able to extend plays and our coverage isn't going to be able to hold on to it. So there's two things. One, we got to get pressure on Jordan Love. That's number one. But two, we got to stay with our man. And I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of pull away from some of the man and go a little bit of zone, just to kind of mess with Jordan Love to try to see if we can get some different looks going out.
Well, Vance Joseph certainly isn't afraid to change things up. And as far as getting pressure on Jordan Love, I am also, that's another area where he has shown a willingness to adapt that has been really, really helpful, because he doesn't just rely on his one-on-one guys to win, and he has so many studs. But that's the best thing about Vance Joseph for sure. Even though he has guys that can win pass rushes from different parts of the defensive line, Jonathan Franklin Myers and Zach Allen are guys who can win inside. Obviously, Benito and Cooper can attack those edges. But like I said, Vance Joseph doesn't just rely on them and their skill to go out and win one-on-ones. He creates stunts. He creates games. He mugs up the front and then drops guys into coverage a ton. It's really, really interesting to watch the way that he does his kind of defensive chess match. And so I am encouraged by the idea that he will be able to find pressure. Like, even if he has to man up a little bit more one-on-one in the backside to create it, I think he'll find ways to get to Jordan Love this game.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to come down to, and honestly, what we're probably going to see is what we saw against Mahomes. Obviously, Jordan Love's, I think, a little bit more mobile than Mahomes right now. But the idea of sending in the nickel blitzes, I think that's kind of really where we got to Mahomes, to keep him from, being able to escape the pocket, make sure we play sound front, especially as we haven't talked about this yet, but Josh Jacobs is, even though he hasn't practiced all week, he is eligible and he's healthy for the game. Maybe not healthy, but he's active for the game. He's not going to be sitting out. So being able to plug all the holes in the front line to make sure that there's no room for the run if he needs to, and then sending the nickels from the outside to just kind of give that ability to get him from the outside I think is key. And we've obviously proven that we can time that well enough to make sure that we're surprising him. Yeah, let's talk about some other injuries real quick while we're here. We got about 45 minutes to kick off, 40 minutes to kick off, and then obviously stick around. Make sure a little bit later in the show, right before kickoff, we'll do our score predictions. If you get your score prediction right, we will be giving away a Bo Nix jersey because it is our 10-year anniversary of Bourbon, Broncos, No B.S. So let's talk about the injuries. So Josh Jacobs is active. Who else were we looking at? Our tight end, he's out, I think, still, or is he back in?
Adkins, no. Nate Atkins, good to go. Mike McGlinchey, good to go for the Broncos today, but we are going to be without Pat Bryant. No Pat Bryant for the Broncos today. And no, Jeremy, we will not be seeing Elijah Moore today or probably any other day this season. Elijah Moore inactive. Michael Bandy will be getting elevated to the game day roster today with the injury to Pat Bryant. No surprise there, really, guys. I know we want to think of Elijah Moore as maybe a guy with more potential, quote unquote. But, coaching staff sees him every day. Michael Bandy knows the system better. He knows what the responsibilities in a Sean Payton's offense are more clearly. And so he will be getting the game day elevation today to help out that receiver room. Ellinger's active, I believe, as a game day roster bonus thing. And I think maybe in his contract he needs to be elevated at least one day to get a roster bonus of some kind. John Payton is usually really, really good about getting that done for his players when they have such incentives in their contract. So getting towards the end of the season, he is active today. And yeah, it is a bummer to see Bryant active. Inactive. He really is coming on. They said in pressers this week that if today had been a playoff game, Bryant would probably be playing. But so indication that the hamstring injury that he's sitting with is not that serious. But they are going to give him some time to get back to it. Everybody who's scoreboard watching, yes, the Bills have just scored another touchdown. They go back on top of the Patriots. Let's see. Or do they go back on top? Yes, they do. They have
35-31. There's still 7 minutes left in the game.
7 minutes left in that game. That's crazy.
It's already 35-31. This is probably one of those they're going to be replaying a lot on ESPN.
Yeah.
So
meanwhile, the Chiefs driving, I believe they're at around their 15-yard line, but like a full quarter in that game almost to go. Chiefs down 16-13 at the moment. Powers is still out, I believe. Yep. 𝐓𝐽𝐥𝐻 is still the start. And again, he's been playing well. Like, let's give him credit where it's due. I think he's been, as a backup guard, like I think he's been stepped up and he stepped into the role pretty well. Like, for all intents and purposes. Obviously, when Ben Powers comes back, we'll play him. As David pointed out to me, because I was like, oh, now we have that debate. And it's like, there's not debate. He's getting paid way too much money. So when he does come back, obviously it's going to be a boost. But the fact that we know that we have, a capable
basketball sixth man, that extra man off the bench that we know is going to be able to make the right plays and knows the playbook and knows everything, is really comforting.
Yeah, absolutely. And against this interior, it's going to be really, really interesting because there are some statistics that indicate that the Packers have a really good rush defense, and there are other ways that they show that you can get after them a little bit in the run defense. And so having quality guard play is going to be really, really, really a big factor to see if they can get RJ Harvey going. RJ Harvey took him anytime touchdown scorer today, so I think they do get him going. I think they do get him going today, but if they are going to, it's going to be the interior of that offensive line is going to have to play really, really well, including 𝐁𝐫𝐤𝐿.
Yes. Yeah, and I think they have the chance to do it. They have a very speedy team. They're not as big as some of the teams that we've seen, but they're definitely very fast defensively. So we just need to get to the right blocks and play very solid, like old school football, like hat on hat. Let's get there. Let's not try to get too creative because they are very speedy on that defense, very similar to what the Denver Broncos have. To be able to swarm the ball. We just got to get there, hit the hole hard. And I hope I see another one of those RJ Harvey, like hit the hole so hard you don't even see it. And he's gone. That one that we saw last week and he ended up getting tripped up. I was like, oh man, that looks so great. He hit it. It was so fast. And he just happened to get tripped up. But I mean, there's a couple things, obviously, for those of you that are tracking scores. We'll keep you guys updated.
Mahomes threw a pick Chiefs, in the red zone.
Mahomes just threw an interception.
Yeah, he sure did. It looked like _Sanders just did too. But anyway,
the Bears have like 4 takeaways in this game so far.
Might be. It looks like 5 now.
Wow.
Bears defense is smothering Sanders in Cleveland today, y'all. Not the game I know you guys are following the most highly. But
I'll tell you what, Bears fans are watching our game this afternoon. So
they sure are. Shedeur just got baited into a throw that he never should have made. Anyway, Jared, Broncos Packers, one matchup that makes you really, really upset, or not upset. Maybe upset.
Sorry.
Nervous. I won't steal the obvious one. I'll give it to you if you want to take it. You go first.
Okay. I was going to say Josh Jacobs.
Obvious one. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. I thought you thought it was the obvious one. I just, And I'm not a fan of this whole like Josh Jacobs is a Bronco killer, right? It has nothing to do with him as a player. It really has to do with coaching, play calling, and execution. And obviously we haven't seen him in a Green Bay uniform, which is fine. But I'm always worried against the run going into these games. And so there's a little bit of me that's a little bit worried about that. The other, and I'll take one more away from you, David, and I'm sorry, but it's really the offensive play calling. Right? I think that Matt LaFleur is very, very good at calling offensive plays. Matt LaFleur versus Vance Joseph is going to be one of these like that I'm watching the entire time. It's going to be, did we call the right thing for the right play call for the right situation for the right timing? Matt LaFleur is going to throw us a couple curveballs, and I'm a little worried about it.
For me, and thank you, Jared, for taking really not just two, but two of the best options. When I was nice enough to not take the very best one from you. Definitely noted. So I am going to go ahead and say that it's Bo Nix against this Packers secondary. They've got Keyshawn Nixon, Xavier Worthy back there, not Xavier Worthy, Xavier McKinney, excuse me, at the safety position. And it is a formidable team that is coached well. Jeff Hafley really has them playing well. And so I am going to be interested to see if, it's just the offensive game plan in general. Like, do they try and do what they did against the Raiders last week and keep things really underneath, not really even try to attack downfield, or do they open things up a little bit against this Packers secondary that, quote unquote, on paper has better players than the Raiders do back there? It's going to be a really, really interesting thing to see there. And if they do decide to open things up, I love Bo Nix, but I just need him to play. I'd like to see him play a little more confidently and a little bit more assertively with the football. And, maybe it was just last week's game plan. I just want to see him. I want to see him test the intermediate areas of the field and deep areas of the field. And I want him to kind of keep doing it, even if he doesn't have immediate success today.
Okay. I just want to correct one thing. It's not that you want him to be assertive. You just want him to be able to push the ball further down the field. You want him to take a little bit more risk downfield.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Because I will say, in watching last week's game, he was very assertive. He was very confident in the game, which is why he was so successful. I think he was able to go through his reads and find the open receiver. Now, there was an open receiver almost every single time. He just had to go through his reads. Yeah. Sometimes that's not going to happen, right? And that's unfortunate.
And there were a couple of touchdowns that he just left on the field in that Raiders game, and that was a bummer. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
If you want him to press it and you want him to kind of take a little bit more risk, right, in the one-on-one situations, maybe in the in the first reads kind of open or throw it open kind of situation, yeah.
And just
absolutely, I agree with you.
And keep doing a better job of letting the play develop when these longer developing plays get guys open down the field. Because there's those concepts are kind of all over the Sean Payton playbook, and you just need to be able to give them time. Your offensive line is going to pass protect it for you, especially on downs when Micah Parsons, as Michael points out, Micah Parsons obviously can wreck a game. So on plays when he's not in there, he's really they really have kept him in a little bit more of a designated pass rush role this year as opposed to a 3-down player on that defense. And so if you find him in situations where he's off the field, that's when you really want to try and take advantage.
Yeah. I mean, that's the time you're going to have the time. We know he's not going to have the time going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If we cannot put ourselves in 3rd and long is really what it comes down to.
Right.
You put yourself in 3rd and long, Micah Parsons coming out there, then you have to use up capital to make sure that he's blocked, whether it's your running back or an extra tight end, and then you got to get like it's just a mess. You don't have that time that we would like. Even against Mike McGlinchey, who again has been kind of on and off the injury report all week for the past few weeks. Let's be honest, and so like he hasn't.
No. What happened with Mike McGlinchey was he was fine. I think he got a shoulder injury on Friday in practice. So he went from not having any issues at all to just immediately questionable, but he is active. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, against a guy was questionable at some point during the week, you're worried, right? And you know the guy can wreck it, and I feel like he's probably going to get at least one sack, and hopefully Bo can protect his body. But it really what it comes down to is, and I think somebody mentioned it too, Bo needs to use his legs, and I think maybe we can use his legs to get out of positions. But
Well,
again, Micah Parsons is very, very fast. Like,
and
he's not going to run from Micah.
No, well, but he might. And I don't know. Here's the thing about it with Nix and his legs for me. It feels like they've been picking spots and have been successful picking spots with it when they use it. Like last week in the red zone, that first touchdown against the Raiders. That was a designed quarterback draw. Right. I think it is a question now of Bo trying to sort out when the play breaks down, when to run, and how long to give it, and how long to hang in and hang on behind the line of scrimmage and see if you can find something downfield to play with your arm instead. And, you know, as a quarterback, you want to see that. You want to see your quarterback thinking throw first, run second when he gets an opportunity to make an off-schedule play. But now it's just quite a question of finding that balance, you know, when they're not calling designed runs for him. And when, but there is, you know, on a play where there is green grass open in front of him, it's a question of Bo Nix finding that balance of this time I'm going to take what the defense is giving me. I'm going to take these free 8 yards versus I'm going to wait another second and a half, even though I might get tackled at the line of scrimmage or slightly behind it, to see if I can make a bigger play downfield. I think he just has to do a little bit better job of finding the balance. Because I think right now, Jared, I see him kind of hanging back and throwing just to do it, just to say, well, I didn't take off. I tried to stay disciplined and stay in the offense and make a play that way. And it's a little frustrating at sometimes because it's like, man, you could have run for that first down so easily. But you know, it even if it's the right principle, I just want him to apply it a little bit more differently, I guess.
Yeah. So Ken's got a couple of comments here. I'll bring them up here in a second. And I have, the way I'm going to say that is, like, it's not as, obviously we could sit here and talk, and everybody talks about, you know, quarterback, couching quarterback, right? Monday morning quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little harder than to say, like, understanding when the play's collapsing, what to do. There's a lot of aspects here, right? If the play's collapsing only to your left and you have room to the right, yeah, maybe kind of, so you can, the reason for the using the legs is so you can keep your eyes upfield to try to get the ball downfield and find out somebody breaking open, which is something, going back to this game, something that Jordan Love actually does very well, which is he can escape the pocket and still keep his eyes upfield to find the open quarterback. And the same thing Patrick Mahomes does, which I think is why you're seeing him trying to keep the eyes upfield. Now, I agree with you. There's a time, there's a point where when that's not there, you also kind of, you know, you got to use your vision a little bit to be like, oh, I also have, you know, at least 5 to 10 yards in front of me before I get rocked by this linebacker. So, like, maybe it's a business decision, but you got to look upfield, right? So yeah, there's a lot of that. You know, I'm going to bring up a couple of Ken's comments here, and then I'm going to come back to a couple comments. People have mentioned Riley Moss, so we'll come back to talk about that here in a second. Broncos fans would rather lose than both throwing 300 yards with 5 bombs and just win efficiently. That's kind of how I felt about it, right? Everybody was talking about last game, like, the numbers just weren't there. Like, I don't give it, like, he was very decisive. He made great decisions. He found the open receiver. We got first downs. We only had to do 6 drives. One of them took like eight minutes. That's exactly what you want out of a quarterback, regardless of who it is. So I'm with you there. But then you kind of follow up. You need to stop waiting for the deep ball. I don't think you understand that he's not waiting for the deep ball. That's the play call.
That's the play call.
That's
why he's waiting is that it. I mean, we talked about
it. Time for the people to get downfield,
right?
And so
we talked about this.
Develop.
Yeah, Sean. When we've talked about the lack of explosives in this offense. A lot of these explosive plays take time, and so when you guys say you want explosive plays through the passing game, they have to develop. And right now, it's so that, you know, when you see Bo waiting in the pocket for that, yeah, I wish there was a little bit more of a 5-step drop ball out intermediate passing game that was a little bit more built on that kind of rhythm specifically. But yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, guys, explosive plays in the passing game just take a little while to develop. But I do agree with the point that, yeah, a lot of times Broncos country really just wants to see those stats, and it's all about the stats. And that, I think, is a creation of a media narrative. And it's not aided at all by the success of Drake May this year, because that's what Drake May is doing. Drake May is going out there and doing it the 5 bombs a game and the 300 yards, and he's making it look pretty, and he's always hunting down the field with the football, it feels like, and he's just accurate and strong arm. He's the media darling quarterback, guys. Drake May is the guy with the strong arm that analysts wish every team had, but since every team doesn't have that guy, they feel like punishing the other teams for not having them. And so that's why the Broncos are getting treated a little bit like this. Don't take it personally. That's all. Just enjoy the wins when they get it, and let the media narratives bounce off of you, Jared.
Yeah, I was going to mention it when we came into this game, or came into this show, was that the media narrative around Bo Nix, and if we lose this game, say we lose this game, then I'm not going to be upset as I would, and it's just me. I'm not going to be as upset as I would against like the Chiefs or another game. I'd kind of be like, okay, a litmus test. You can't keep it good for too long, right? You're going to have to lose eventually. And sometimes we're going to have to take that punch in the mouth, especially going to the playoffs, to know what we need to do going forward. And I think that it's due, whether it's this game or the next quarter. I don't think we win out. That's just my opinion.
No.
And part of me is like, okay, if that's happened. But I also know that I'm going to have to stay away from every national podcast, every ESPN clip. I'm going to have to just turn off my YouTube, like all of it, because they will not stop talking about the Denver Broncos, how they were frauds. If we can't beat the Green Bay Packers. Now, if we beat Green Bay and we lose to somebody else later on, then I'm all for it. I don't want to lose the Chargers, though. I want to at least go one.
I really want to. We haven't beaten the Chargers. Like we swept the Raiders. We've beaten the Kansas City Chiefs both years that Bo Nix has been quarterback, but we haven't beaten the Chargers at all since Bo Nix took over as quarterback of this team, and that annoys me. That annoys me.
Yeah, I do want to go back and talk about a couple things here. Andrew, you mentioned score predictions. We'll do score predictions here in about 10 minutes because we got about 20 minutes to kick off. So about 10 minutes, we'll do score predictions. Make sure you guys get those ready. Again, you only get one score prediction. The first one is what counts. The first one is what counts. Screenshot it. If you get it right, we give away a Bo Nix jersey, as this is our 10th year anniversary here at Bourbon Broncos and No B.S. Okay, let's go back because they were talking a lot about, and I think it was just going off of what we were talking about with our secondary, Riley Moss. So let's see here we go. Jeremy, first of all, I want to not to be that guy. I don't like the idea that people pick on Moss. I think they target Moss because they can't target the other side. Now, and I get it, even in the games that he was, Pat Surtain was injured. There was, a few times. I think Moss has gotten a lot better. I'm a big fan of Riley Moss. I'm not somebody that's like, oh, they're going to pick on Moss. They're going to go out there and pick on Riley. I don't think that's the case. Now, will they pressure him? Probably, right? And again, this goes back to every single time. You know when you're the guy and you have Pat Surtain over there, and a young guy like Jordan Love is going to notice that and be like, maybe I don't throw it that way, right? So, yes, you're going to see stuff going to Riley Moss's side a lot. And then unnecessary penalties. He didn't get any last week, did he?
No, Pat Surtain got 2 PI calls.
Pat Surtain got 2. Riley and he had a great pass breakup too. Riley Moss had a really good pass breakup that game too.
He's a good cornerback. He's a really
great
good player. And so, I agree with you. I don't know that I necessarily want to see him matched up on Christian Watson a lot today, but sometimes I wouldn't mind seeing it every once in a while. Sounds like, Jared, things are getting chippy on the field. I've heard a report. It looks like there was a scuffle between some Packers players and some Broncos players before kickoff. So,
already.
Yeah. Things are getting chippy, emotional. It's the kind of game, that especially is the kind of thing that can turn to your advantage if you keep your head on your shoulders, if you keep it about the game and you keep it on the field. So I'm interested to see if the Broncos can channel that energy into the proper type of aggression going into the game.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see. I'm a why. Like, who cares? Like, it's AFC, NFC. Like, we're not the same division. We're not going to see these guys again. I don't know if there's many other than like the kicker. Like, I just don't like other than McManus. Like, I don't know any other like players that are like mad that they left. Now that we're playing the Browns and Judy. Like, I'm interested to see why that. How does that happen before the kickoff? Like, unless they know somebody, right? And they're talking shit because
it might have been because I think it was Dre Greenlaw that it looks like it was Dre Greenlaw that it was the center of it.
I can see that.
I want everybody to just, if you guys haven't seen any pictures of Phillip Rivers warming up for the Colts, today, do yourselves a favor and just do yourself a favor and look that up, because good God, that is a side of beef right there. Like, to his credit, he didn't admit what his playing weight was, but he did say, I'm not at the weight that I was when I stepped off the field last time. And wow. And yeah, guys, we are getting it looks like everybody's kind of posting it. Buffalo winning, has the ball, got a first down. Yeah, 1st and 10 on the New England 16 with 1:51 left. Looks like they are going to win this game. Barring something catastrophic happening. So that is something that the Broncos could really use. That takes the pressure off the Broncos today to make this a must-win game to stay in position for the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. But it also gives the Broncos an opportunity today, Jared. If they win this game, they maintain that 1.5 game lead going into a week where the Patriots then have to go and play a Baltimore Ravens team who played really well against Joe Burrow today. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting sprint to the finish this season for just about every team in the AFC playoff picture.
No, I mean, this is really cool to be part of it. Like last year it was like, we just got to get in. We just got to win this. Right. And then outside of that, like, we knew we weren't winning the division. We knew we weren't going to be like the top guys, but we wanted to get in that wild card round. And it was like these like games, like if we win this game, we're in. We win this game, we're in. Now it's like, oh my gosh, we're part of every scenario possible. And that's every other team is like, if Broncos win and we lose, or if Broncos lose and we win. And so it's actually kind of cool. We're like playing all this. I get to pull out the advocates for different reasons.
Yes,
I think it'll work. I think it'll work eventually. And then so
sooner or later.
Yeah, I got to change the batteries. That's all. And then right. I don't know. It's just super cool. It's super cool to be a part of that and be into the conversation every single time. And like you said, with Buffalo winning this one, right? New England took a timeout. They just got another first down. That game's over. Buffalo winning this one. Kansas City is driving down. If Kansas City can, get a touchdown here, even if he'll go put into overtime, I like that also option. Yeah. Then we feel a little bit better in the division in the AFC West, and then I feel a little bit better in the AFC with the first round bye against New England, and now we're in the driver's seat. Like 100%, we control our own destiny. It's not like we need all these things to happen. It's like, okay, we win and we're there, and we got the answer. And I know it's a lot easier said than done, but makes it for a much nicer game for this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about let's do a little bit of score predictions. I see some people post some score predictions. David, let's talk about what we talked about in the pregame podcast, why we think it's going to go the way we do, and why did we both pick the Denver Broncos to win this game?
I mean, I think I've laid out the reasons kind of throughout the day, but to me it starts with the defense, as it must. I think they match up really well against this Packers team. I think they are going to be able to cause the Packers some issues. I think they're going to be able to keep the run game in check. And I know, we talked about it, Jared. Josh Jacobs, the quote-unquote Bronco killer. I think the Broncos are going to have answers for them on defense today. And on offense, I think they're going to be able to do enough. I think that the RJ Harvey, the hard running we saw from RJ Harvey is going to carry over from that Raiders game to today. And I think that the Broncos are going to be able to conjure. I don't know if it'll be fourth quarter magic or not. I just think they'll be able to do just enough to win this game in the neighborhood of 20-17 or even like 17-14, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot about it, and I think the reason that our team has been so successful so far is really a big part of the coaching staff and the way that we're calling plays, the way that we're calling games, the way that we're controlling the clock. We have control of the games as we're watching them. There's obviously later in the season. Earlier in the season, it was kind of like, what is happening? Take control back, right? The Giants-Jets game, both those kind of come to mind, but or the first Raiders game, really. But we have that control, and I think the last couple of games we've really found our stride, and everyone's kind of playing at the same speed, and it's really like, okay, control the clock, get downfield, let's get the score, and then let's let our defense have the time off, and then get on the field and get off the field again. I think that this is very similar in the aspect of like their defense is similar to our defense, their offense is similar to our offense. And I think the fact that we play each other in practice so often is, I think our defenses are similar, but ours is better. our offense is similar. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying our offense is better. I will say they have a very good offense, and I appreciate that. Right? They spread the ball out. They're hitting 8 or 9 receivers every single game. It's not the one person that's always going off over the top. And it's something you've seen from the Broncos too. Obviously, we have our third down guy, Cortland Sutton, but we're spreading the ball around. It doesn't have to be the one guy, which is why I think they're very similar. But I think we have the edge on defense, and I think the fact that we play our defense every single week is going to help us. Also, the Green Bay Packers have scored at least 23 points in the last 4 of their games, and I think that they do it again. So I think this is a 27-23 Denver Bronco win. I think the Broncos put up 27 points this game with the beautiful weather you guys are seeing in Denver. I don't see why there should be any reason not to.
Yeah. Just a little update.
Oh, go ahead.
Kansas City might be hosed.
I see him down.
Yeah,
see him down.
Mahomes down, grabbing his knee after being
he's
hit
crying.
all play. Yeah,
he's yelling.
I don't know. I just saw the slow motion replay there, and it did not look his leg just gets stuck in the turf. Yeah.
Oh, Gardner Minshew warming up.
Yeah, Minshew's already warming up. No, I think the Chiefs might be done here. Yeah, that's tough. Oh, yeah, no, Mahomes is. This is not a Patrick Mahomes gets hurt one play and comes. It looks like he's seriously hurt.
Let me look at it from this angle. Hold on, just gonna watch this. And it's not the defender's fault.
No. Nothing. That his foot just gets stuck in the turf, and I think his knee. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, he is not feeling good. He's not okay.
No, he is definitely. Yeah, they're checking out his left leg, left knee. Might be an Achilles injury even. I don't want to speculate. I'm not a doctor. But and guys, we. So another thing to keep in mind, even though a Chiefs win today more beneficial to the Broncos than a Chiefs loss. However, and as Mahomes now stands up, noticeable limp, but now walking to the bench. If the Chiefs lose today, and the Texans are already putting up a 40 burger, as are the Jaguars, and so the Chiefs need with a loss today and a win by either it has to be 2 out of 3 of Houston, the Jaguars, or Indianapolis. Yeah. If 2 out of those 3 teams win, the Chiefs are eliminated, and 2 out of 3 of those 3 teams are going to win. So,
so Chiefs look like they're probably going to be eliminated. I mean, unless Gardner Minshew has some Minshew magic coming into him, he comes out there, Travis Kelce giving him a bump on the head, like, let's do this, big dog. 1 minute and 53 seconds left in that game for that. Before we go into that, let's go back to our game just a little bit, as we're kind of just talking through the other games, and I appreciate that. I hope you guys are okay with that, because all these things matter for the Denver Broncos going forward, and obviously our game matters. So let's talk about our game, 31-30. Let's talk about some of these score predictions. Again, if you get your score prediction right, if you haven't posted, please post it now. If you get it right, screenshot it. Let us know. Any of the social medias, we'll be answering it. Let us know that you got it right, and we'll send you a Bo Nix jersey for $3.99. All right, Larry with the 24-17. He's kind of similar to us. Oh, I forgot one rule of this is that you have to pick the Broncos to win. You can't pick the Packers to win. We're not giving you a jersey if we lose.
Even if you're right.
30-27 Broncos, very similar to what I said. To 23-17, similar to what you said. Then this is 27-24. I said 27-23, Jeremy. With you there. Broncos 28, Packers 20. It looks like we're all thinking it's going to be about a 45-point game. 34 points for the Denver Broncos. When was the last time we scored over 30? Was it the Giants game? It had to be. Yeah.
I can't remember. Wait, was the Cowboys after the? No, Cowboys was after the Giants.
Cowboys was after Giants, and then we scored 30 there. Yeah. I was pretty toasted halfway through, so I think we scored 30. We did. All right. Yes. 23-17, 33-30. Michael Bates thinking this is going to be a shootout, very similar to what we saw with the Bills Patriots.
Man.
24-27 Broncos for the win. That's a close game, Jerry. 3-point game. I like it. I think that's very, very possible that it comes down to a last-minute field goal. It'd be nice if it was ours. Mahomes is down. We talked about that. 21-25 Denver. That's a very interesting score. You
But I
know,
like it. I'm seeing a lot of. It feels like I'm seeing a lot of chalky scores. I like a little bit of variety there. Good job, Andrew.
I think it's because we've been doing this. I don't think we've given away a jersey yet. We haven't had anybody actually
I
hit
don't
it.
believe
We were
have.
very close last week, and then Raiders had to go and ruin the spread by kicking the field goal that didn't mean anything, and we almost gave a jersey away. It was very frustrating for all of us.
A week after we had to give away 3 jerseys.
Yeah, so now everyone's like, okay, like let's just pick some random. Let's see if we can pick something off the wall because all of our games have really kind of been off the wall scores.
True.
27-24, Clayton coming to OG Clayton coming in. Appreciate you, man. Jerry, another OG, 27-20. Karen coming in with the 33-27. I love the fact that we think we're going to put up 30 points. And I do. I hope that is the case. I hope we can go down and score 30 points. It just means we have to score quick. And we have to be able to get in the end zone, which has been a little bit of a struggle for us, especially against defenses like this. 24-20. I think if you score, Michael says, if you score 40, it's no longer a burger, it's a T-bone. I mean, we talk about 50 burgers, so maybe 50 burger would be like a 50 T-bone. Yeah, 50 50 prime rib. Yeah, rib.
Miss me with a filet mignon, all you steak lovers. Give me a ribeye any day.
Yeah, so it looks like Kansas City still got the ball. I'm watching on Red Zone. I think you have a live game there.
I do. Yeah,
Kansas City still got the ball. There's 20 seconds left. A lot of field left. And they're trying to probably go for the field goal to put this game into overtime. But yeah.
But Mahomes just got helped into the locker room. And so, yeah, they had a picture of him limping into the locker room being supported by 2 support staffers. So that injury does not look good at all. Yeah.
Our producer Jerry. I feel like Parks and Rec. Gary. Our producer Gary coming in with the hot 28-14. Very, very similar to us. But Gary thinks that we're going to win this just outright. I kind of like it. I love it. Are we allowed to have another game this year? Is it like a Christmas present if we have another game this year that doesn't start and or end in or like some sort of heart attack?
Yeah, fair enough. Right. Just a little reaction shot because Gardner Minshew just threw an interception. And so that Chiefs game is now over. And so
not even close.
From the playoffs in 2025.
Terrible throw.
Yeah, it was a Gardner Minshew. Anyway, eliminated from the playoffs in 2025, the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the team now that goes from going to the Super Bowl, losing, and now they miss the playoffs the next year. It happens pretty frequently, actually. But, I honestly never thought we would see it in the Kansas City Chiefs era with Patrick Mahomes. And so, yeah, that's pretty interesting.
The other thing that this does is that makes a very interesting game for us when we play the Chargers here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it sure does.
Because Chargers are our last game on the season, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We play Kansas City on Christmas, and then we play the Chargers.
Yes, Kansas City on Christmas Day. A game that now, if Patrick Mahomes is injured for any significant length of time, obviously that game loses a little bit of its juice. But that's okay.
Don't care. Sweep the Chiefs.
I don't
even care. I don't care. We sweep the Chiefs. I don't care.
You know what? You beat them this year.
Every other player is still on their field.
And you know what? You beat them this year with Mahomes at quarterback. You beat them fair and square. Mm-hmm. Nobody can say boo about it this year. So sweep
absolutely.
The Chiefs. I don't care.
Oof. But what this does, it makes that game against the Chargers, as long as if we keep winning out, then I'm not too worried about it. If we don't, right, they have 4 losses, we have 2. They do have 1 game up on us, but there's a chance that game is the difference between the first round bye. It is the difference between the AFC West.
Yeah,
it's like that might be the big game to end the season. That might be they might flex that into a Monday night because that would be the difference maker in how the whole AFC would shake up in the playoffs. So I'm interested to see that. Interested to watch that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 10 minutes to kick up. Man, it's like
5 more like
5 minutes?
Well, no, you're right. It's right? More like 10. My computer clock is a little bit faster than my phone clock. My apologies. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a 5 minutes left to kick off. We all know I can't do math. So as soon as we get to that, we're going to go around. We're going to talk about some last-minute things. Let's talk about this game. Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers. NFC North leaders versus the AFC West leaders coming in after Chicago wins their game. Green Bay is playing for a lot more as they are trying to stay ahead of Chicago in that right now. I think they have like, can you call it 2 games? Could be normally be a game and a half, but it's like a game and a half and a tie. The fact that they have a tie with the Packers or with the Cowboys is just wild to me. But
Yeah.
they have like a game and a half ahead. Let's just call it a game and a half ahead because they beat Chicago last week. But if we could beat Green Bay, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Chicago fans, including a lot of my family, that'll be very happy that we could take out Green Bay and keep them closer to winning the NFC North for the first time in a really long time. I can't remember last time Chicago was the leader of the NFC North. So, yes, they have a lot to play for. We have a lot to play for. I want to hear you guys' takes. And again, thank you guys so much for joining us during this game. David, we talked about like the matchup that we're most worried about. What matchup do we need to take advantage of? What matchup out there is like, we have the advantage here? What do we need to take advantage of?
I mean, I think it's this pass. I think it's this front. I think it's our defensive front against the Packers because their offensive line is good. But they've also had some backup players. They've also had had to shuffle some players around on that offensive line this year with injuries. Again, they've come out of it pretty well, and they're playing well. But I don't think they've faced a pass rush like ours in quite some time. And I think that is really going to be the key for the Broncos this game because Jordan Love can make a mistake. Jordan Love has been playing excellent football, but he is also one of those quarterbacks that likes to take risks down the field. And you can make him make a mistake if you get after him well enough.
Yeah, we talked about Bo Nix and our expectation that he's going to take a little bit more risk and throw it a little bit more downfield. And yeah, Jordan Love does that, and sometimes he hits, and sometimes he doesn't.
Right.
We are actually of the top 5 defenses. No stats in front of me. I would care to like just make an assessment that we are probably the least amount of turnovers in those top 5 defenses, right? We don't turn the ball over other than punts, which I actually consider a turnover. It's a whole different, story. You can talk about that however you want. I consider a punt a turnover.
Yeah.
But we don't have turnovers. We don't have takeaways.
Yeah.
And that's okay if you're making a punt after, if we're making them go 3 and outs, we may have the most 3 and outs of any of the top defenses. But with that being said, I think we can get away with a couple here with Jordan Love trying to take some shots, trying to push the ball downfield before he's ready, or with Nick Bonito in his face, or Nick Bonito chasing him down, and Cooper in his face. Well, whichever the case is, he's going to try to get that ball over the field, and I think we're going to be in position. We just got to stay in position for that. And another thing I think is worth mentioning, Larry or Jerry Larry, doing it again, keeping penalties to a minimum.
Yeah.
I still think we lead the league in penalty yards. I wouldn't be surprised if we still lead the league in penalty yards, which is unfortunate, very much so.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Keep penalties. It's hard for me. There are some penalties, and I'm like, yeah, you can't do that. And then there's other penalties, and I'm like, are we really getting that called against us at this time? Like, and it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it, but like, yeah, like it does hurt us. But if you're talking about we lead the league in penalty yards and we're still 10-2, like imagine if we could cut that down to half. Imagine if we were league average in penalty yards, what we'd be doing and what the league would look like.
For sure.
That's just part of growing as a team. We are a second-year team. We were supposed to be rebuilding last year. This is still part of our rebuild, and we're looking at possibly number 1 in the AFC. So I got to give them that. This is an absolutely beautiful week.
So guys, sorry. I just, because we're about 5 minutes until kickoff, so I want to make sure everybody gets their score prediction in. If you haven't, and guys, make sure you check us out tomorrow night. We'll have the post-game podcast for you at 8:00 Mountain Time. Then on Tuesday night, the Bourbon Broncos and No B.S. show. And we will get through the other content that we have throughout the week. Chiefs officially eliminated from the playoffs today, Jared. The New England Patriots lose today, so that number 1 seed, we could make a big move to further cement that. Any final thoughts before we log off and let people get to the game?
No, I think let's take this game as what it is. We control our own destiny, and we've been talking about that this whole last hour. We control our own destiny. Let's take it for what it is. Let's enjoy the ride. If we win, that's awesome. We have just absolutely grabbed it by the horns. If we lose, it's not the end of the world because we're just back where we were at the beginning of the really at the beginning of the week, which was okay. We're tied / we have a little bit of advantage on the New England Patriots going into next week, and then we just play our game and we just keep going from there. But let's enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy that the Broncos are where they are and enjoy this game.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we will see you very, very soon. Back tomorrow night, back Tuesday night. Win, lose, or draw, we will be here to talk with you about the game, to hear your thoughts, hear your comments, hear your questions. Again, thanks so much for joining us today, and don't forget to check us out at halftime. We will be back with the original Halftime Hash Show as soon as halftime starts. And Jared, I don't think there's anything left to say for now except to end it, as we always do, on a very strong Go Broncos. We'll see you later, guys. Thank you.